The title of my talk here is Experiments in Open Video, Making the Global Lives Project. So I'm going to start out with a short video that's about 3 minutes long that, since I'm a video maker, I believe in the power of videos to explain what I do. So we'll give you that. And then I'm going to go into the backstory of how we made this project. And really, it's about open video. And if you're not familiar with that term, that's pretty normal. It's a pretty new term, and it's something that a lot of video makers around the world are starting to use to define their work with collaborative, participatory, and really engaged and engaging filmmaking. So as you hear me talk about the Global Lives Project, you'll, I think, get a better understanding of what it means to make open video. So on with the video, hopefully.
The Global Lives Project is a collaboration of more than 500 volunteer filmmakers, artists, designers, translators, and everyday people from around the world. The Global Lives Project set out to document 24 hours in the daily life of 10 people who roughly represent the diversity of humanity.
From the most intimate to the most mundane moments, our crews patiently watched, turning themselves over to the pace and rhythms of lives not their own.
Geography. 61% of the world's population lives in Asia, so we selected 6 Asians and 1 person each from the other 4 major world regions: North America, South America, Africa, and Europe.
We also learned that more than half of the world lives in cities, so we chose 5 urban and 5 rural people.
Income. We conducted detailed economic research to select 10 people whose earnings roughly represent global income distribution.
Gender. Half men, half women.
Religion. The actual religious distribution of the planet.
Age. The actual age distribution of the planet. 6 of the 10 people are under 30 years old.
Mas nem precisa viver, é só te ver, tu já senti na pele a treta e o clima que rola que os loucos. Então
We've shown our work in museums, universities, classrooms, and public spaces around the world. Anyone is welcome to watch or download our footage, or contribute to our growing video library of human life experience at globallives.org. Step out of your world and explore the boundaries of global lives with us.
So just to recap, the idea, 24 hours, 10 people, 10 different countries. really, we wanted to capture their routines, their tasks, their struggles, their everyday experiences, because that's the crux of how they understand their lives, and I believe how we can understand them. Now, the original goal was to put this into a video installation, the content of which is 240 hours of unedited footage. What this has grown to become through this network of collaborators from around the world is really a video library of human life experience. So the state of affairs. I, as an American, come to this with a particular background. These are some statistics. 38% of young Americans, that's age 18 to 24, consider speaking another language to be not too important. 89% don't correspond regularly with anyone outside the US, and 88% can't find Afghanistan on a map of Asia. The situation is pretty dire. So why do this? This is really about provoking people to rethink their relationship with the world by inviting them to participate in the daily lives of others as intimate observers. And at the same time, we feel that we're really pushing the limits of not only technology, but also of international collaboration as a vehicle for social change. So these are the first two people that we videotaped. I was part of these crews that produced these shoots. James Bullock, a cable car driver here in San Francisco, and Jael Feliciano, a hip-hop singer and a city permit inspector in Sao Paulo, where I lived. Now, the third shoot I actually didn't go to, and of the 10 that we've done so far, I was only part of 3 of the crews. The third one happened in Malawi. We got a proposal from an American filmmaker who partnered with a number of Malawians. He had spent a number of years living there. Our collective, the Global Lives Collective, evaluated that proposal, and we decided to fund him. And we give these small grants to all of the filmmakers that we work with. These are some of the pictures from the shoot that we did in Malawi. And this is Edith, and this is her going to get water in the morning. She was a 13-year-old girl at the time of the shoot. So this is another important member of the Global Lives Collective. His name is Elio Ishii. He's a Japanese-Brazilian documentary filmmaker. He has a small studio in Sao Paulo, and he was one of the co-directors of the shoot that we did in Brazil. Now, he asked me after the shoot in Sao Paulo if he could do a shoot in Japan, and if I knew anyone in Japan. I didn't know a soul there, but I wrote this email, and the email said, "Do you know a filmmaker or photographer in Japan interested in social change?" And I sent it to literally everyone I know who'd even been close to Japan. A few days later, I got back this email. I'm told it's a pretty good translation. And we posted it all over the internet in both Japanese and English. So we were looking for volunteer producer, director, production assistant, collaborators, translators, and in 10 days, we got back 20 responses from independent filmmakers, amateurs, professionals, and 2 universities, the United Nations University Media Studio and Temple University Japan, the largest American university presence in Japan. So they went on to do this shoot with Rumi, and Rumi uses a wheelchair to get around Tokyo. She got in a car accident a few years before the shoot. Another piece of the puzzle is the life story interview. That's something that we do either the day or the week before each of these shoots to really get the person comfortable with the camera and get a lot of context. So you saw this diagram of how we pick the people. The back side of that, the open participatory side of that, was this set of spreadsheets. And the green you can see are the open slots for the different criteria that we had for picking people. The red were the finished ones, and the yellow were the shoots in progress. This is what it looked like about 2 years ago. And this is what it looked like when we'd finished 9 of the 10. Right now we're working on expanding this so that we can add an infinite number of recordings to our library of human life. So this is the exhibit design. The interesting thing, I think more interesting than the design itself here, is that this was built by this design was made by an Indian architect, then a Brazilian architect turned it into a CAD model, and an American architect turned it into a 3D rendering. The 3 never met each other. They collaborated all on the web, by email, with each other. So these are some of the visions of how the exhibit could look. You can see all 10 of the people at once or go into individual rooms with them. And along with these exhibits, we like to do these parallel events, guided visits for groups of students, lecture series on world affairs and global citizenship, citywide installations to promote the exhibit, and even video production workshops. So this was the first screening we ever did. This was in the same favela or slum in Sao Paulo where we did a shoot there. The second time we did an exhibit was at the United Nations University. This is in Tokyo. in Tokyo. And then the most recent exhibit that we did was this 4-month show at the Yerba Buena Center for the Arts, which I think some of the people in this room went to. That show was a big success. We had more than 1,000 people at our opening night. We actually had 2 different parts of the exhibit, one with LCD screens that held about 50 people, and then another piece of the exhibit that held about 1,000 people. It was also a great party, so you can see better in this diagram what it looked like. The website is sort of the next generation of where we're going with this. This is the real open part. These are some mock-ups, but basically there'll be 3 ways you can navigate the video. Through a map, which takes you to any of the people that you see, and you sort of geolocate them. Also through time of day, you select there, and through tags. So this is an example. If you wanted to see Muthu in India, you get his subject page like this. You can read about him. You can watch his life story at the same time as you watch his daily life. You can look at different tags, or you can add tags to the video. You can also, using semantic web IDs, like Freebase IDs, go straight to a Wikipedia article that corresponds to a subtitle. You could also, say you decide you want to watch 3 at once. You pick 3 of them, you hit play, and you see what they're all doing at that time of day. And again, you could even go to 9 at once. This is all subtitled using the .sub tool. We have a network of more than 500 volunteer subtitlers who have produced all of these subtitles, which has been absolutely amazing. Actually, TED came to us to ask for advice about how to do the TED Open Subtitles project. We were doing it a little before them. That feeds to .sub. Obviously, Facebook is a big part of this open collaboration that we do. Now, this is I'll close on this slide. So this is from one of our volunteer translators in Malawi. Well, she's actually a Malawian, but living outside of Malawi, as most of our volunteer Chichewa translators are. So she says, Malawi needs a voice. Sometimes we can't give ourselves the voice. So I appreciate all the work you're doing in helping us converse with the world. So this was really touching for me, hearing someone from her country, seeing that through video we're really able to communicate about daily life and to share people's experience. And again, our motto is step out of your world, and that's what I hope you will all do if you come to our website, globallives.org, and get a real sense of what it's like to live in another life, in another human body, in a different place, totally different from your own reality. Thank you.